Okay, hey YouTube, I want to talk for a minute about how I'm going to pay off my mortgage in 7 years. What you're looking at here is the balance of my mortgage with Wells Fargo online. I'm going to go ahead and click into the um, actual mortgage there. There's my interest rate. I know it's a little high. I won't go into that right now, but what I do want to do is go into this. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, so this is basically, let me back up here a little bit. So this is my history on my payments, what months they were made. This is from January of 2013 to June of 2013. And the way I am planning on paying off my mortgage, I'm going to come down here. This is kind of an amortization thing that I just put together online. I've had this since May of 2012, and I've been marking it off as I go along and pay down the mortgage. You can see I actually started at about 190 because I started this in December of 2011, but I didn't draw up this chart until 2012 of May here. So there's no magic bullet, but basically I just want to go through what I've did. Is I drew a line in the ones that the months that I've completed, and I drew a line at the years, and also I've marked when I get a tax refund, and but I didn't account for that in this chart. And you'll see as my balance shows 162.35, you'll see that my actual balance is 162.3 because I applied the taxes towards it, some of the tax refund, not all of it, some of it, and the amounts aren't exact. They're fairly close, but not exact. And you can see the difference in my principal. I was paying $1,610 in addition in May of 2012, and you come down here to June of 2013, and that month I paid $1,700 in principal. So I've compounded my principal by what is that, $90 basically, or $88. Or no, that's 1610. I thought that was 1600. Or anyways, you can see the point here. My interest has also dropped in the amount of interest I'm paying. 804 there, down to 713 now, and it's actually even less than that if I click into my actual payment here. If I can click into it here, and I can look at what the difference is. So we've got principal, interest, escrow. So principal was $424 last month, interest, and then my escrow amount, and that's my total payment amount at the top there if I were to just make the standard payment. So that's the breakdown of my standard payment. Okay, in addition to that, I also applied this much in principal for the same month. You can see $628 principal. So I also applied $1,287 off the balance, strictly towards the principal. There's no magic formula here. Basically, I'm just putting a crap load of money towards the mortgage, and I've amortized it. I've got several pages here. One for one. Each page holds about 2.5 years, or almost 3 years. At least 2 full year, 2.5 years, let's say. And you can see I'm getting there to January of 2019, towards the end of this year. My balance will be at $32,000. Coming along down here towards the end. Sorry for the paper. Like I said, this paper's been around on my desk for over a year and a half now, so it's got some water and smudge marks on it. But you can see there, January of 2020, I'll have a balance of $5,000, which I anticipate prior to that, even with the tax refunds, and if I do have any additional money I decide to throw out the mortgage, it'll be paid off before the end of 2019. So we're talking 7 years basically from when I decided to, really kick this thing into high gear and get my mortgage paid off. So you can do it. There's no magic formula. Draw up something that works for you, buy a cheaper house than you can afford, and throw as much extra money in as you can and knock it off the balance. and you'd be amazed how much money you will have once the mortgage is paid off. If anybody does follow, some of Dave Ramsey's teachings, you can live like no one else can live, once you get that mortgage paid off, because now you can use all that income that you've got coming in every month and direct that towards something else. And my plan is to, we've got a rental property as well, and I don't want to talk about that too much here, but basically, once our mortgage is paid off, I'll direct all that money towards the rental property and have it paid off in approximately 7 years as well. So total of 14 years to have 2 homes paid for. Anyways, there's another breakdown of my from, like I said, this is January of this year, 2013. I started at $173,000 for the balance. We are here at June of 2013, and I'm down to $162,000 for the balance. So I've managed to pay off $11,000 in principal in 6 months. And the only way I've been able to do that is paying down the mortgage by putting more money towards it than the standard mortgage. And over time, that shift in principal and interest becomes huge. You can see from the end here, May of 2014, I'll be paying $631 in interest, whereas at the beginning I was paying $804 in interest. So that's almost $200 difference every month, and that compounds. And even if I decided to stop making the extra payments towards the mortgage, I would still be paying $200 less a month in interest, because I've paid off that amount of the balance. So there's a lot of benefits to paying off your mortgage early. You can do it. Sit down, drop a budget, figure it out, and good luck. Thanks for watching.